Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Delaware Live Weekly here at Buffalo Wild Wings. And there's something different in the air down here. It's Sussex County. We're in Rehobeth, Benny.
Saltwater, baby.
That's it, man. We're down here in the flip-flops, and we're ready to go, man. Summer dreaming on such a autumn's day.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
we'll get there, man. But thanks for joining us here, ladies and gentlemen. A really, really exciting week of sports that just went by this past weekend. Joined here today, Benny Mitchell, Glenn Frazier. Gentlemen, welcome in.
Thank you, sir.
Good to be home.
I know, man. Right down
All
the
those
street.
trips up to Christiana, and good to be home.
Absolutely, and it was a great week. Great weekend of sports, huh, Glenn?
Yeah, really was. Good football, field hockey. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do, and we got an action-packed show live here, like you said, down here in Rehobeth, Buffalo Wild Wings. Also have Sussex Central and Cape Henlopen football teams joining us here for their Friday night clash between the Golden Knights and the Vikings. It's at the Castle, and it's presented to you by Capstone Homes, Benny.
The 53rd time these two teams will play, 53 consecutive years that these two schools will play each other.
Yeah, and a lot of great rivalries there. Obviously, we'll dive into that a little bit later, but yeah, it's going to be a good one. We obviously are going to recap our games from the previous week, and then after that, we're going to get into some football talk as well as our picks as well, and we'll wrap up obviously with the top plays. So with that, we will hop right in to our recaps from last week, starting with the DMA and Howard Wildcats, and we will start this. And it started early. Devin Green at DMA, this young kid, he was on the show last week. He's been a star down at DMA for a few years now. He got the scoring started for the Seahawks there in the second quarter. This was a big-time matchup. DMA undefeated, Howard 4-1. A little bit later, it's R.J. Matthews to Jamal Johnson. Touchdown in the pose as Howard looked to knock this one up. Howard, of course, the defending D2 champions. A little later on, watch this circus catch by Demir Hollingsworth. Bobbles it and catches it while on the turf. 8-7. Howard on top a little bit later. Ryan Aline, TD pass to Kyer Hines. What a diving catch. And the Seahawks will take the lead at their stadium. A little bit later, it's Devin Green
They
again.
had the one there.
And now we got a game. It's 21-14, and again, there's that man again. Devin Green, when his team needs him, he provides. Touchdown run, number 3 on the day, puts DMA up 28-14. Very little left to do here for Howard. They do get a touchdown here with 10 seconds left. Matthews to Hollingsworth for their third big play of this game. However, the onside kick couldn't quite get it. DMA would take the knee and get a big-time win in that 2A matchup, continuing their undefeated season against the defending champs. 28-20 in that one.
Big double-A contest there, and I think DMA showed they beat the two-time defending state champs, Division II state champs. They show they're the number 2 team in the state right now.
Absolutely. And there's going to be more to come down in that. It's the Wild Wild West in that Division II conference.
I think double-A, I think it's the best, most, not the best of football, the most.
It's the deepest, I think.
Yeah. It's so deep, 21 teams, and I dare anybody to put their bet on right now who's going to be the state champ in double A.
Right.
We can kind of see single A. We can kind of see triple A.
Yeah.
There's too many to pick from in double A right now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Well, let's transition here. Benny, staying in 2A, but you had a good one with you, Woodbridge and Caravel.
Number 4 versus number 5. A lot of people thought that Woodbridge was maybe in some trouble. Their offense really hasn't played well this year, but another game. If you like defense, you like the first half, so let's get it rolling here. Woodbridge number 4 in the state, Caravel number 5. Here come the Caravel Bucks, the road team, coming out onto the field. There are 2 undefeated teams coming into this game, and then it's pink out night in Greenwood. And here come, we had to call them the Pink Raiders on Friday night as they come out in the all pink. And they came out, Pat, to the Purge.
Yeah, the horn going
they came out to the Purge. So here we go. First action of the game, second quarter. It's Seatric Stones. He takes the hit step, goes to the left side, finds his pink wall, and then it's just one cut back, and good night. Cedric Stones with a 63-yard punt return to get the Blue Raiders started in this game.
And Benny, his nickname is Butter.
Butter, yeah,
Butter.
Part of the all-name team right there,
There you
Cedric
go.
Stones.
And then you're going to have Sir Kenny Newton on the extra point out of the earthquake. He goes in 8-0, and that's how the first half ended. So we go to the third quarter, and Caravel, they've been getting close all night, and they get one here. Mackay Carmen with the block punt, and that's going to lead to a touchdown for Caravel. It's going to be Keyshawn Drumgo on a 3-yard run, and he takes it in. But the story of the night was Caravel was not able to convert on any other point afters. And then here we go. As you said, there's that man again. Lexton Westcott. Seth Smart catches him in stride, 38-yard touchdown pass. And this time, it's a little pitch out of the earthquake. It's going to go to Jordan Evans for the PAT run. And Woodbridge is up 16-6. But then it's Nick Richardson. Watch this catcher. Watch this concentration. Wow. Picks it up, goes in the air, pulls it down, and then outruns the defenders. Nick Richardson, 52 yards. James Wingo. That puts Caravel right back in this game. But again, the extra point hits the upright, and it's 16-12. And then it's Kenny Newton. 71-yard touchdown run. He just finds the edge, and goodbye. Takes a little look back to see what's in his rearview mirror. Touchdown, Kenny Newton. And then Kenny Newton's going to get the PAT. After that, look, my young man's exhausted. He had over 100 yards in this game on only 8 carries. And then here goes Kenny Newton again, finding the end zone for the PAT. That puts Woodbridge up 24-12. You look at this as a double-up score. The game was much closer than that. Right. 8-0 at the half. That was off a punt return. Like I said, you like defense. You like the first half. And there.
On to 3A here, Glenn. Dover and Sussex Central. We're obviously going to talk to the Golden Knights a little bit later, but they had themselves quite the matinee. It ended up being a good game. You and I were there.
That was a real good game until late in the third, early fourth quarter when they had the big stop. But we started off with a 1-yard touchdown run. And that's quarterback Moran with the sneak, and that got Dover on the board, making it 7-0. Central comes right back. They drive right down the field. Had the wing tee going, as you well know, sir.
Yes,
you
sir.
were calling the game with me, and this was a good run right here. Look at that run there by Andrew Long. Got him all the way down inside the 5, about the 1. And then I think Shields finished this off with a touchdown there. They had a bad snap and they missed the extra point, so it was 7-6 then. And then there really wasn't any scoring until late in the second quarter, and Dover scored here on second effort, and that was Abrams.
He had a day.
He did. He rushed almost for 100 yards. And look at this wide open pass, missed assignment. And that's Abbott in the end zone for a 30-yard touchdown. Close game at half, 14-12, as Sussex Central went for 2 there, tried to get the missed PAT back. And then when we started the third quarter, it was just back and forth and back and forth. It was a great start to that second half. This is a pass to the freshman Parker. Big hit on him, and then he's stripped of the ball by Finney. And Finney gets a possession for the Golden Knights.
It's unbelievable.
And the Golden Knights score there, and they take their first lead of the game. Missed the extra point again, but it's 18-14 Golden Knights. Dover comes right back, gets the lead back. Kilby, just changing direction, goes all the way, fights into the end zone. He had 149 yards rushing in the game.
Unbelievable.
That put Dover back on top, 21-18. Central, they come right back, and they get a touchdown, and they retake the lead. Like we said, back and forth, just heavyweight boxers trading punches. There's a big pass to Parker. He breaks the tackle, slips into the end zone, and that gives Dover the lead back. Now at this point, it's 28-25. It's just a field goal game. Another great catch by Parker, kept both feet in, got the touchdown.
we were getting text on this game plan. It was like every 3 minutes we were having to give an update. It was crazy.
It was like, you just lead change after lead change.
Look at this run.
Sussex Central.
Kilby.
Big run there. Dover gets another touchdown. And then Dover gets the win. But the biggest play in the game might have been a 4th down stop a couple of years ago when Central won the state championship.
Right.
Central won on the last play of the game.
Last play of the game, yep.
It was quite the contest, and all 3 games ended up being good ones. And we'll have hopefully some more of them coming this week. So we're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, Coach John Wells and the Sussex Central football team will be joining us.
At Ferris Home Improvements, your family's comfort and safety is always our top priority.
If you call us for your roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchen, and bathroom needs, you can expect health screen craftsmen who wear gloves and face masks and follow minimum 6-foot distancing, virtual conferences to discuss project details, job quotes delivered electronically or brought to your door for your review and approval, and our showrooms in Newark and Rehobeth Beach remain open for limited appointments.
We're here together.
Operating with precautions.
To protect our staff.
And our customers.
At Ferris Home Improvements, your family's comfort and safety is always our top priority.
If you call us for your roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchen, and bathroom needs, you can expect health screen craftsmen who wear gloves and face masks and follow minimum 6-foot distancing, virtual conferences to discuss project details, job quotes delivered electronically or brought to your door for your review and approval, and our showrooms in Newark and Rehobeth Beach remain open for limited appointments.
We're here together.
Operating with precautions.
To protect our staff.
And our customers.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Whether you're planning to buy a home in 3 months, 6 months, or even a year, let me walk you through the process from start to finish and get your questions answered. I'm a DHSA lender with down payment assistance programs or grant money. I can help those with less than perfect credit or those working on their credit. I'm also a local and always have been. So call 302-563-5599 or visit BryansLoans.com when you are ready to get started on your road to homeownership.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Rehobeth Beach, Delaware, our first trip downstate this year. We have with us now the Sussex Central Golden Knights with Coach John Wells, Zamir Gardner, Joey Finney, Gunnar Abbott, and Diego Rodriguez representing the Golden Knights here tonight, the captains for Sussex Central. And guys, welcome to the show. I know it's been a long time since you guys have been on, but geez, we went through COVID. And I think the last time we had you guys in here, you won a title in 2018. So that's probably the last time we had you guys on. That's right. So, you know, who knows? Maybe another show on 302 Weekly and you win another state title, all right? There you go. All right, Coach, I'm going to start with you. 26 years you've been at the helm at Sussex Central. And what brings you back? Like we've talked before, when you started, it was Captain Dick and those kind of guys. You were the young guy. You're the old guy now. What keeps you coming back?
Well, that's pretty funny you said that because we played Dover last week, as you know.
Right.
And we're running plays, and a gentleman comes out, while we're calling plays on offense, you probably saw him. Jim Oxford comes out and says, "Hey, Coach, do you remember me?"
Right.
I said, "Coach, I remember you."
Right.
I said, "My first time coaching football, it was you, Tommy Leonard, Kyle Valesky,
right.
Johnny Parker, George Glenn, Captain Dick, all the guys that had state championship rings for the most part."
Right.
And there I was at 28 years old going, "Man, I'll never get a kid all
But look what I got now, right?
Well, I've been blessed." And so I can say I'm one of the veteran coaches now, and I know how it feels to be a young guy. And it was funny that Jim Oxford came out there. Right. A lot of memories. But the main reason to come back is really for the kids. They work so hard. And you got a program going like this, and these guys, after winning the championship, I just couldn't walk away. They exonerate these guys, coaching. And I don't know, I don't have a timeline on it, betting. I love what I do. Someone keep doing it. 26 years is going by so fast. But I think the passion for the game itself, football is the consummate team sport. I coach other sports in years past, and I'm watching my Celtics series. I'm trying to do this interview. I'm a big C's fan. But football, it takes everyone. You can have great players in basketball and dominate the ball and have a chance. In football, you can't have just one or two players. You've got to have a full team, whether it's special team players, defense, offense. It takes everyone, and it really is a challenge, and I look forward to that challenge every year. I'm trying to build a team. That's why.
Sure, and then fellas, from a player's perspective, I mean, you're playing here for Coach Wells. You guys have had a lot of success recently. What's one thing that you've taken from Coach Wells and his staff that has helped you both personally and team-wise to have the success that you guys have had?
Just working hard every day. They're honest about being tough on the field and being tough in life. They're showing us every day you got to be tough through everything that you go and do. You don't want to go do it soft.
Right before we came on the interview. All right, so first of all, what's your go-to meal here at Buffalo Wild Wings? What's your favorite sauce?
My go-to meal is the 15-piece traditional, hot and lemon pepper. Everything hot. That's what I like. I like everything hot.
15 boneless mild wings.
All right.
15 traditional mango habanero wings.
Mango habs. Yeah, he's real
15
hot.
boneless honey barbecue.
All right.
Coach, you do something that's very near and dear to my heart, is you run the wing tee offense. And I know that it's been popular. A lot of people have gone and spread the field out and gone air raid and so on and so forth. I ran it in high school at St. Elizabeth. Talk about the principles and why you won 2 out of the last 3 state championships. What is it about that offense that has allowed you guys to have success in modern football?
Well, I think it gets a bad rap sometimes. I know when I started coaching, that was one of the first things I had to decide was, do I keep the wing tee?
Right.
I learned it at the middle school from Coach Sizemore was the head coach. I was his assistant. And that's one of the things I had to look at. But the Pop Warner program ran it, the middle school ran it. Our kids back knew it. So I kept it. And going to those clinics with Tubby Raymond and Kempsky and how it's evolved over the years, they spread people out in the wing tee. They still ran wing tee plays, but then they started going option, triple option with it. I think the wing tee is really, they talk about it being a type of football, not just an offense. Right. We've been a shotgun. You can run anything out of the wing tee. It's an order of football is what it is. And you saw us with Isaac a few years ago, probably run about 20% shotgun. And I put that in really years ago when a kid, we had Amonte Clanton, because he had those abilities. Zonder does too. He can be in shotgun, he can be in the center. But I think the wing tee offense, you fit it to your personnel.
Right.
Last year we had Dion and PJ Stratton. Phenomenal running backs, not the best of receivers. And then in 18 and this year we got halfbacks and fullbacks that can catch.
Yeah.
So I think the wing tee gives you the ability to build an offense to your personnel. Now, you're going to run buck sweep, you're going to run some staple plays, but a lot of that stuff changes according to what I have to work with. And we're very blessed with some good skill players.
I didn't have this in my list, but I'm going to ask a legacy question because I didn't think of it until I looked in this young man's face. And I see Lance Abbott every time he talks. Caught a big diving touchdown pass on Friday night. John, you can remember Lance Abbott making those same catches over the middle. Talk about what it's like to suit up, same place your dad played, almost kind of the same position.
it's cool because he played the same position at the same school, and like you just want to take after him and look up to him.
All right, Coach, without giving away your game plan, what do they have to do Friday night to come out victorious? You're 3-3 this year. This is a big game.
Yeah, we've been we said we wouldn't talk about it anymore, but I think because you're asking in this interview, we have some young players. And really, Zamir and Diego and Gunnar are the 3 guys that played on offense the most at return. Everyone else is gone, and even Gunnar rotated with Chase Boyle and Deuce, Sean McGee. So we were young in a lot of spots. Even though there might be some juniors, playing-wise, they're young. So that's one thing we had to get better at. And we've had to overcome some injuries, and we still have players out. So we had to worry about ourselves as much, but we didn't do the things that we normally do. We feel SC football is about. So that has to change and get better. But also Cape, they bring their own set of problems. Multiple formation team, a lot of formations, good skill players, big line. They get after it. They chase the ball well on defense. So we want to keep the ball out of their hands as much as possible. So it's twofold, I think, Benny, this week. Right. We want to fix us a little bit better, right, and also have a good game plan and execute the game plan against Cape.
Now, fellas, one thing, and Benny, I appreciate you pulling this record up here. This is impressive. 39-10 in your last 49 home games. You guys defending the castle, right? That's the tradition that you guys carry on down there. What makes it so tough for teams traveling to Sussex Central, and what kind of energy does it give you knowing you're playing in front of a raucous crowd every weekend?
I don't know. I'm trying to get an idea. You got one?
Honestly, it all just starts with the crowd, the fans. I mean, when we get out there, I mean, it's ecstatic. Like, there's nothing else like playing at the Castle. When we go out there and all the fans are going on, and it just brings like a different energy to us when we're out on the field and just hearing everybody cheer for us, honestly.
There's a lot of great energy out there. Night crew, being around a lot of alumni that comes to the game still, and, everybody rooting you on. And it's a different feeling playing in the Castle, too. Just being out there, it's a great feeling.
I would just say the same thing. Like, everyone comes out to watch us, and we just can't disappoint.
Right, yeah. I want to add to that. I think they don't want to disappoint. We tell the guys they're playing for the franchise, for themselves, the school, but also for all those guys that played before them. They're representing them. But I heard Mark Del Prosa one time say it was the hardest place to play, coming to Central, the new school. I know years ago you would hear it was hard to play at Delaware. And to get that kind of accolade is pretty cool. That people think it's tough coming to our school and playing at Central. Because when I first started, it wasn't that way. Right. And other places had that accolade of being tough to play at. So
you've seen on our picks that we do on Friday morning, me and my son Trey. You know what our run rule was, right? Never pick against Sussex Central in the Castle. Right? It's a good way to lose your bet. So one last question. This is like the highlight. This is the most important. Everybody needs to know. If you're in high school football, every high school football fan has to know, before you go out in the field, what's that last song you listen to in your earbuds? What's the song that gets you ready? Look, Joey's got one. Go ahead. If you're ready, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let him rip.
And of course, they listen to the edited versions.
Right, yeah.
Just to make sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it said the fight song.
Mine was always All the Lights with Kanye back in the day, man. That was.
Meek Mill.
Meek Mill's a lot of
Meek Mill.
A lot of teams talk Meek Mill's, yeah.
A lot of Meek Mill, yeah.
We go with Meek Mill's?
Yeah.
All right.
Meek Mill, pretty much Meek Mill.
So, first of all, I want to thank the Sussex Central Golden Knights. Like I said, I was telling Pat before, because these are all these upstate guys, so I got to educate them every time they come down. This is the 53rd time in a row these two schools have met. They've always been Northern Division opponents. And this was, back in the day, a Week 10 rivalry that we all know had to be moved because of the energy it brought, and it got out of hand a couple times. But this is a big game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm an alumni. This is a game you circle when the schedule comes out.
Big game. Always with Kate, big game.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Maul back at our table. We sat together, and I've known him since he played against us, so I'm really partial to Coach Maul. But now with 3A and 2A and 1A, we don't play Indian River.
right?
We both don't play tech. But so we don't have the other. So
you have to make a trophy, Coach.
So we have one rival. If you go back the Route 9 series, even Seifers, not the Route 9.
Your dedicated local sales pro is supported with nationwide team service, including sport and category experts. Get the look of D1 colleges and pro teams with our program that streamlines ordering your staff apparel, player gear, and fanwear. Stretch your budget with our fundraising solution. Free and ready in minutes. Our campus branding products are perfect for boosting school and team pride. BSN Sports has the advantages you need right now.
Hi, it's Scott and Lauren from Sodell Concepts.
And today we're at Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Catch 54 is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine overlooking the bay. House favorites include signature crab cakes, shrimp and grits, our famous 54 burger, all accompanied by a Wine Spectator wine list and a great selection of craft ales and cocktails. Catch 54 offers delicious nightly specials, award-winning waterfront dining views, and the best happy hour in town.
Catch 54 in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehobeth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehobeth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehobeth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is a perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehobeth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings in Rehobeth Beach. Benny Mitchell with Pat Gariantes. Thank you to John Wells and the Sussex Central Golden Knights for appearing on the show. Now, we have their opponents for Friday night. We have the Cape and Henlopen Vikings head coach J.D. Mall, and I can get the front table here. This is Hank D'Ambrosi, and this is Lucas Rupert. And I know them guys because they're multi-sport athletes. Hank, well, you've played almost everything, but mostly lacrosse. And then Lucas, the oldest and greatest sport known to man. He's a wrestler. And Coach, if you could give me the guys in the back three, I don't know all of them.
This is Ryan Bettens, L.T. Messick, and Nate Horn.
So, guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming aboard. Coach, well, let's start with the players first, okay? Let's get it out of the way. Bread and butter question. Yeah, I saw you guys ever eating. You ate well. Lucas, I won't tell Coach Mattioni what you had. All right, no problem. What's your go-to meal here? And if it's wings, what's your favorite sauce?
I just get the hot wings. Whenever I come here, I get the boneless hot wings.
I get the boneless Asian sing.
Yeah, good choice.
Guys in the back, you might have to pick up the mic.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to say just the normal buffalo wings, traditional.
The boneless barbecue wings, boneless honey barbecue.
They're good choices, man.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad choice.
They're good choices. All right, so fellas, last Friday night, big defensive stand. You stopped CR 4 consecutive plays inside the 5-yard line. First of all, how crazy is that when you're on the field making a big play and the energy that comes up after it? And how big, obviously, is that to try and turn the game and the season around and carry that momentum into the following week?
I can't speak on that. I didn't play defense. I wasn't on the field. I know it helps team morale to get stopped, but you can talk about the defensive part.
As a defensive unit, we needed momentum, and I think we found it. We kind of finally stood our ground and stopped them inside the 5-yard line, and that situation was pretty nice. It felt good. We got our momentum. I think we're ready to go. We got pumped up, and we held our own.
All right, Coach, kind of on the same thing. Your offense, it's been on average scoring 3 touchdowns a game. The offense has been here this year. It's just each game the other team's just scoring 1 or 2 more. So it's not been like you've been in every game. Every game's been competitive. You could very well be 4-2 right now. You guys could even be 6-0. That's how close your games have been. How important was it to end this game winning with the defense on the field?
It's a big-time stop for our guys. When you coach teenagers, their emotions are up and down, and they're hearing it. We're 0-5, and at practice on Tuesday, we wear socks. We wear socks to make our kids tackle, use our shoulder pads. and that was a big stop for us versus Cincinnati last Friday night.
Fellas, talk a little bit about, obviously, Benny kind of alluded to it. I mean, your season has been a lot of tight contested games. How have you guys been able to keep the mental edge and the same approach going in and week out and keep that positive mindset?
It's a tough thing to do, to come back from a game that you know you should have won. It's hard to walk around school and have people tell you that you haven't won a game yet, and when's it going to happen, when are you guys going to get together, because you know the guys in the locker room, the guys next to you on the field are talented enough to win games. Like you said, we could very well be 6-0, but we know that we're not, and we know that every day we got to get better, because there are bigger things than last week. You can't trip over what's in the past. You got to just put one foot in front of the other and keep working.
Like what Hank said, just whatever happened, like in the past, like yesterday, like it's done with. You can't go back and change the past. So after a game on Friday, we show up Saturday, we watch film, and we get ready for our next opponent. We just keep moving forward, and I think we finally did that against Seattle.
All right, Coach. I was getting ready for the broadcast on Friday night, and I was going over some stats, watching some film, and I didn't realize how small that guy is back there. But he plays big.
Yeah.
He's one of your leading. He is your leading tackler. He's been in the end zone several times. I'm going to take the mic. Talk about your game and how you play so big, but now everybody's going to see how you're 5'8", what, 150?
5'6", 140.
Yeah. Talk about your play.
I mean, I'm just not scared to play. I mean, it's a team sport for real. I've got to count on Lucas to help me, like, hit the hole and everything when I'm on offense. He got to block for me. I mean, it's not really up to me. It's up to him and his linemen on how I get my job done on offense. And on defense, whatever comes to me, I just gotta finish, get us to the next play.
And then you got the quarterback who didn't pick up organized football, until he came out his freshman year.
Yeah.
Talk about his play, because he's been your starter since he came out.
About 4 years ago, looking for a quarterback, I was at practice and we didn't have one. I didn't feel like we had one, so I went and found little Dave Frederick. Been having a meeting with him at his office, trying to get his son out, and he tells me that, hey, I got a kid better, named Hank D'Ambrosi. And I said, Mark's son? He says, yes. He's never played football before. I said, okay, tell Hank to come to practice. Hank comes out, he's messing around, see him throw the ball, and I remember telling Mike Tack, that's our quarterback, and then a couple weeks, we're gonna make him a starter. And I decided to do that, and he's our quarterback. So we're gonna ride these 4 years together.
And that's a true story, because Dave Frederick told the same exact story at the Lake Forest Newark game at halftime. We were talking about other quarterbacks and stuff. So obviously a verified story at this point.
Yeah, it is verified. All right, so fellas, the great thing about your division, right, 3A, is that all 11 teams are going to make the playoffs, right? So start like this where you may have had to learn how to win, it's okay, because you may get revenge in the playoffs. What does that do for you guys, knowing that you got a chance to potentially get revenge come playoff time?
I'm really all right with being an underdog. I think there's nothing negative about it. If you believe in the guys next to you, the team in the other locker room is thinking, hey, these guys aren't much. They look at records, they look at scores, they look at stats, but they don't realize what we have to offer and what we bring to the table when it comes to playing football. So I'm all right with going into the playoffs with people doubting us, because the bar's low. The only thing you can do is raise it, and I think we'll definitely raise the bar. I'm excited for what we have ahead.
Back to what Hank said, people doubting us, it's a good feeling, because all we can do now is go up. So if they doubt us, let them doubt us. We're going to show up, we're going to play our game, and show people that they shouldn't doubt us.
Okay, the question that the Delaware sports fans want to know right now.
Let's do it.
In the locker room, it's in the locker room. What's in your head? What's in your ears before you go out?
You mean music?
Oh yeah.
Like what song we got?
Yeah. Well, what's getting you hyped up? I mean, it could be a comedy special. I don't know. I mean, that's what you're into. That's fine.
It varies. You know, some days it's rap music. Some days it's a different kind of music. Some days it's everybody just jumping around. Coaches getting us excited. Like, I don't think we're a one thing works team. I think we gotta just figure it out as it goes. If I had to choose, I heard them say Meek Mill. We listen to a lot of Meek Mill too.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Pass it around if you guys got one.
Meek Mill's the big one.
Meek Mill's probably the big one. And little bit Chief Keef.
Chief Keef, all right, little finito.
Talked to Coach Walls about this. This game's the 53rd time in a row this game's been played, and we talked before the show about how this was an emotional rivalry back in the year in '81 when I played, when you played at Cape back in the '90s. This used to be a Week 10 game. Because of the emotions, it got moved to mid-season, and now with the whole realignment, it's a mid-season game. And I asked the Central kids the same day. When that schedule comes out, tell me you don't circle Sussex Central as a game you want to play.
Oh, yeah.
We got to. It's families versus families. I mean,
yeah.
He was a Sussex Central middle school kid. He was where'd you go? Georgetown or Millsboro? He was a Millsboro kid, so he knows all these kids. It's personal.
Coach?
You know me, I'm a little old school. To make it a rivalry, we have to win. It's not a rivalry until we win, and I think they've won the last 18 out of 20. So our goal Friday night at 10 o'clock, we walk on the field, is that now it's a rivalry. For right now, it has not been a rivalry, but our goal is to make it a rivalry at 10:30 Friday night.
That's good.
I like that.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Well, hey, thanks, Coach Wall. Thanks, fellas, for hopping on here. The Cape Henlopen football team ahead of their matchup with Sussex Central
Friday night, baby.
on Friday night. It should be a good one. We're going to take a commercial break. Glenn's going to join us back on set, and we're going to talk a little extra for a little more football, get into our picks and our top plays, all here on Delaware Live Weekly.
High Five Hospitality was founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise concept to Delaware. They now operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings, 6 locations throughout Delaware, and 2 locations in Maryland. B-Dubs has weekly and game day specials on their delicious food and beverages. Stop in one of their convenient locations today. The Stone Balloon Ale House features a unique blend of crafted food and an array of spirits, all flavored with a dash of nostalgia. Our culinary mantra is comfort food playfully reimagined, and we prepare seasonal favorites that strive to please the palate and resurface a memory. Limestone Barbecue, from our mouth-watering Texas-style brisket, fall-off-the-bone chicken, and St. Louis ribs. Southern-style sides, mac and cheese, baked beans, cornbread, sweet tea, and our homemade pickles. Be prepared as your bread will be your napkin. Yup, we are that kind of barbecue. Expectation. You'll have a tough time choosing between our exclusive dishes to help get you through the day. French toast, French crepes, Belgian waffles, and of course, our famous Eggs Benedict. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality. Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Whether you're planning to buy a home in 3 months, 6 months, or even a year, let me walk you through the process from start to finish and get your questions answered. I'm a DHSA lender with down payment assistance programs or grant money. I can help those with less than perfect credit or those working on their credit. I'm also local and always have been. So call 302-563-5599 or visit briansloans.com when you are ready to get started on your road to homeownership.
And we're back in here at the Buffalo Wild Wings down here in Rehobeth. Thanks again to Coach Maul, Coach Wells, and the Sussex Central and Cape Henlopen football teams. And, Benny, you alluded to it. You had made this observation, and I saw this as well, right? Crosstown rivals, both coaches eating together.
I think Coach Wells picked up the tab.
Yeah, you don't see that in Newcastle County, man. I'm telling you, man.
And as the players come in and come out, they dab each other up. They're gonna strap it up and go Friday night.
Yeah.
It ain't Friday night yet. So.
No, not quite. So that's good to see. Well, again, welcome back in. We're going to run through football here and get into our picks. We're going to start off here. It was a fun week 6. Looking into our top 5 in Class A. No changes this week, right? Things have kind of gone chalk there. Teams are starting to separate themselves down there with a couple of really good upcoming games coming this week.
Well, we got a big game coming up this week with the 2 unbeatens in that district, St. Andrews and St. E's, at Middletown at St. Andrews. Both are undefeated in district play, so whoever wins that will be first place and probably will end up taking first place in that district. I think St. E's probably a little bit better at this point, but Lilly had a heck of a game. He passed for 355 yards last week against Glasgow and 5 touchdowns.
I think District 2 stays the same until next week, November 5th, when Indian River and Laurel get it on.
Yeah, that's coming up, November 5th. You're exactly right. A couple scores from last week. Seaford continuing to roll, man, 34-14. A little feedback. We're going to keep going now. Number 4, St. Andrews, 42 over Glasgow, 14. Indian River with the big win over Polytech, 42-26. St. E's impressive over Dickinson, 54-0. And Laurel continuing to be impressive, 42-0 there. And you know, Benny, you have a couple notes here that you had mentioned about a couple teams that are piquing your interest here.
Yeah, we're starting to see defense, and you know, defense is what's going to get these guys. They say defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And you know, who do we think? Who has the best defense right now? And admittedly, I've not seen St. E's play live. I've seen them on film.
Right.
But by virtue of Woodbridge's Laurel's 6-0 loss to Woodbridge, a AA team, I have to say right now, Laurel. Woodbridge goes out a week later and doubles up Caravel, who's a very good football team, 24-12. So I think right now, you're talking defense, you got to talk Laurel, maybe the best defense out there in single A.
Absolutely, and Jason has a couple notes too.
On the bunker.
It's never too early, right? Way too early playoff predictions. He says Laurel will get that top seed even with a loss if they win out. St. E's needs to win out and have Laurel lose in order to potentially steal that away. And St. Andrews could hop into the 2 seed if they win their 1A games and get some help. So
Jason's going to have to go back down. I was working with it today. Seaford could find themselves up there by virtue of the 9 games.
Yeah.
So because they didn't play the game with Tower Hill. That could propel them to a 4 or 3rd seed.
Yeah, it's tremendous. Switching gears to the 2A, taking a look here at on the screen, your top 5, a little flip here. Howard dropping to number 4, Woodbridge hopping up to number 3, DMA hopping up to number 2. And just some of the scores we saw: Woodbridge beating Caravel 24-12, DMA over Howard, and then Archmere gets a 26-15 win over Tower Hill. And Glenn, DMA, they really did well. They look good.
Yeah, well, you had on the highlights earlier with Devin Green, he had a heck of a game with those 3 touchdowns, 123 yards rushing. And then the other Green, not too bad either, Jordan. He caught 3 passes from that lane for 83 yards in the win. They had that big game with St. Mark's, but we hear St. Mark's is a little dinged up.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that plays out. And quite possibly, the Spartans might be the only stumbling point for DMA to get an undefeated season until they meet Archmere in Week 10.
Could be. And then Benny, I mean, it's looking pretty good.
A lot of top 5 games last week. Get some shake up in the rankings. We needed it because, you know, the Shakers hadn't been shaking in a while.
Right.
The top 5 teams are all in competitive games this week as well. DMA was impressive handling the 3-time Division II state champs.
Yeah.
Giving them their 2nd loss of the season. It moves Woodbridge up over the past few weeks. They've built skeptics. Woodbridge has developed some skeptics, and deservingly so. But I think they shook some of them off last Friday night. Kenny Newton rushes for 108 yards, 8 carries, a touchdown. Lexington Westcott, we're saying that name every week now. Yeah. I mean, he's a big time playmaker with Seth Smart, and the Blue Raiders. I looked at their schedule. They didn't play week 0. They're not getting a break. They've got coming up. They got Milford, Lake Forest, Red Lion, and Howard to finish the season.
Wow, that's tough. Jason says he's looking at the top 4 seeds because they get the first round bye. Archmere and Woodbridge have 3A games on their schedule. Right. That could throw some different teams up there in the mix depending on how they turn out. DMA's looking good. 3rd out of the 4 teams. The 4th team looks like it could come down to Caravel and St. Mark's. We talked about it. St. Mark's having the injuries. They do have a favorable schedule though. Caravel, their strength of schedule can get them the 4th bye. So there's a couple things to keep an eye on. In terms of this week, for this particular class, Archmere plays host to Caesar Rodney.
Yeah.
That's one to keep an eye on. DMA, you said, plays St. Mark's. Woodbridge traveling to Milford. Caravel traveling down to Lake Forest on Thursday night.
Short week.
on a short week and the travel. So that's something to keep an eye on.
So there's only 4 undefeated teams left in the state. 3 of them are in this Class 2.
Unbelievable. Moving right along to 3A, Glenn. We're going to keep this thing moving. Top 5 remains intact. Nothing changing there. Number 5, Sally's in Middletown, obviously was canceled, as has been reported there. Again, prayers to everybody involved in that situation. St. George's gets a big win over Hodson, 56-0. They continue to roll. Dover gets by the by Sussex Central, 42-25, and we talked about how great that game was. And Benny, looking at this Class 3A, a lot of parity here.
Yeah, I think this class has the most parity of all 3. 3 through 5 are really close. And there's a couple teams knocking on the door at 6 and 7. We talked last week about possibly moving Dover after their loss to Appo, and I'm glad we didn't, because they can go out and they beat Sussex Central, who we've always been saying is our 5A. And they do it by a couple touchdowns. Appo, their only losses in state are Middletown and St. George's, and the Jaguars end the season with Smyrna and Slays-Anthem. So we're going to see a lot more of who the Appo Jaguars are.
And we got a couple big games coming up here, Glenn. Top 5 teams in matchup. Number 3, Dover traveling to number 2, Smyrna. That's going to be your central game of the week. Middletown's going to play host to St. George's. Number 5, Sally's host William Penn, which has historically been a good matchup. What's kind of sticking out to you, Glenn, and Benny? I'll let you follow.
Well, first place is on the line in both of the districts in Class 3A. Middletown and St. George's are tied for first. They're undefeated in the district. And then the same thing with Smyrna and Dover. They're undefeated in the district, so first place on the line at both. I think the Middletown-St. George's game, to me, is a game between 2 of the best defenses in 3A. And it's going to be a battle, I think a low-scoring ball game, and we'll have to see how Sanchez works, because he's usually 75-80% of their offense. If Middletown can shut him down, they should have some success there, and it's a home game for the Cavaliers. As far as Smyrna and Dover goes, could see a lot of scoring. We saw Dover put up 41 points on a good Golden Knight defense. What's going to happen when those 2 get together at Smyrna High for homecoming? So I see 2 contrasting games there, but should be 2 competitive ones, I would think.
Yeah, I think you got Smyrna and Dover coming in number 2, number 3, identical records. It's for first place in District 2. You're back to 2018, last time Dover beat Smyrna. It's not like it's been a long time. It's just 3 years ago. St. George's and Middletown, they played 2 tough games last year. The Hawks' only losses so far, number 2 Smyrna, number 3 Dover. I think AAA has some big games coming up this weekend and the rest of the year, and it's the one division where ranked teams have 2 losses.
Absolutely, and Jay, again, with the way too early playoff predictions, he says he's got 5 teams fighting for seeds 3 through 5 and those last remaining first-round byes. St. George's looks like a lock for one of those seeds. They got wins over Sally's and Appo, which that Appo win's looking more and more impressive as the season goes on. They did take a loss to Dover and Sussex Central, and then they still have Sussex Central and Middletown, I believe, still left on the schedule, so you got to keep an eye out for that. Dover's got 3 key remaining games, Smyrna, Penn, and Sally's. Sal's have Smyrna, Penn, and Dover, and Appo left. And Appo, with their win streak, could sneak into that top 5 with a head-to-head over Dover and a home win versus Sally's. They could give them that advantage. Sussex Central needs to win out, according to Jay, and get some help, minus their game with Middletown. Losses to Dover and Sally's, with a key home game against St. George's remaining against 3 bubble teams. So Jay's always looking ahead to the tournament action. We'll have to keep an eye on this as things go along.
We have a big lineup of games this weekend.
Big lineup of games, Benny. Talk to him a little bit about it.
Glenn, your crew is going to have the Smyrna-Dover game we talked about, 7 p.m. on Friday night. You guys, the North crew is going to be at Odessa for Polytech Odessa. That could be for a state tournament berth.
Yes.
Right there. Okay. Odessa first year could find themselves in the playoffs of single A. And then I'll be downstate with the Sussex Central Cape and Henlopen game Friday night. And look, don't overlook a 1-5 Cape and Henlopen team when they're playing Sussex Central. Both teams said it. This is a game they circled on the calendar. This is a game they want to leave with a win.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll hop right into Jay's Handful Challenge, right? We'll get into our picks. Last week, it was impressive. Jason put together an undefeated 5-0 performance, earning 40 points. Benny, you're still leading the group here. 209 total. Jason behind you at 189. Glenn at 175. Nick A has now climbed ahead of me at 164. I got 161, and we're not quite sure what Mike's doing, but he
better get in that bunker.
Yeah, he's falling behind at 142.
Let's pick two games. Two games next week roll.
So with that, Mike's going to take Caravel over Lake 32-26, and in his upset, Hodson over Appo. He says the Appo win streak comes to an end. Jason's going to take number 2 DMA over St. Mark's 31-27, and in his upset, he's taking Friends 24 over Howard 16. Benny, what do you got?
Well, since we're in Rehobeth Beach, we're in the land of the Vikings. I'm going to pick two games from there, and that's going to be the field hockey top 10. Number 1 Cape Henlopen, they're going to beat number 8 Cesar Rodney 8-0. So let's go ahead, same week, let's pick the soccer game, and we're going to flip it. It's going to be the number 2 Cesar Rodney. They're going to beat number 5 Cape Henlopen 3-1.
And Glenn, you got a couple picks that you're looking forward to here?
Well, let's go with the unbeaten field hockey, top 10, unbeaten Delmar, with a 4-1 win over 9-2 Smyrna, a very much improved field hockey team. They're right up there behind Cape Henlopen in the Henlopen North, because we still have Henlopen North and South in the other sports. Should be a good test for Smyrna to see how far they've come along, but that's my top 10 pick. I think Smyrna will get a goal on Laurel.
Well, they'll be one of the owners. Devin Cape will be it.
With it. And Benny, before we conclude here with our top plays, some top performers that we saw from this week.
Oh, we got some. Nick, are you ready with the photos? Top 4, here we go. Hey, well, here we are down here at Rehobeth Beach. Let's talk about Reagan Shabatoni from Cape Henlopen. She scored 5 goals, not 3 goals, not 4 goals, 5 goals and an assist versus Padua, the number 10 team in the state. So it wasn't like they rolled over some chump. Congratulations, Reagan Shabatoni, on your 5 goals. Number 2, Adriana Paladinetti of Delaware Military. 44 saves against Wilmington Christian, and then 29 against Archmere. And apparently this, according to NFHS, this is one of the second all-time best performances for her. So congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Adriana Paladinetti. And number 3, Devin Green of Delaware Military, 20 carries, 160 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a big win over the 2-time defending champs, Howard. And then finally, number 4, Dakota Harmon, the former Delmar wrestler and football player, graduated in 2012. He is about to have his debut MMA fight Saturday, October 23rd in Manassas, Virginia. He'll be fighting at 185 pounds versus Matthew Santanagello of New York.
That's right. It's time. It's going to be tremendous there. Best of luck to them, and congrats to all of our highlighted players there. It's time to roll the tape for your top plays of the week, brought to you by BSN Sports. It's going to be a good one, fellas. Plays, and we're going to start it off with number 10. It's Lexi Tarlew with the save for Tatnall. Another great volleyball play. You see this plays in action. Look at the hustle. Look at the determination. How do you get it over the net, young lady? That's unbelievable. Number 9, Matthew Hannick from St. Mark's. Screen pass to the house. Look at this tremendous angle. He's going to catch the ball. Concord defenders trying to make something happen. The big hog mollies out in front, Benny. You love when the big boys get involved.
Get downfield and square them up.
That's a nice play for the Spartans. We'll see how their season continues. Hopefully they can avoid some adversity here. Seth Smart to Lexington Westcott here, number 8, Benny. This was a great play.
Lexington Westcott and Seth Smart, they're starting to be, they're like a weekly feature here in our top 10. Lexington Westcott also, I remember he had the scoop and score and the pick 6 earlier in the year.
Here's Brian Aline to Kyer Hines. We talked about this from DMA earlier. This is a nice little play here.
Yes.
That's a heck of a throw. Look at the slow-mo. Look at the grab, Glenn. He's down at the 1-yard line, but it's tremendous effort right there. Now Joe Richardson to James Wingo. This is Caravel.
Great concentration here.
Talk to him, Benny.
Looks off the pass in the flat, boom, bobbles it, picks it up, and then off to the races. Make a little attempt there, but you're not catching Wingo. Touchdown, Bucks.
Caravel. It's a tough one. Woodbridge. This is a big-time victory for them. Number 5 is Amir Gardner. We talked to him earlier. And John Abbott. Talked to both of these guys. Glenn, this play was one of many in the first half for Central through the air.
That got them to a 2-point game there at halftime, and he was wide open, Mr. Abbott.
Number 4, Brendan Hickey to John Gray. Tower Hill. Always love seeing Tower Hill on the mix here. The single wing offense. You don't know who's got it. Next thing you know, it's a touchdown over Archme. Archme did get the win though. But Tower Hill, an impressive season.
Yes, they are.
Number 3, Mandy Quinn from Padua. Not 1, but 2. What's your favorite breakfast food?
Pancakes with syrup.
Pancake. There's one. We get a double stack from IHOP, the International House of Pancakes.
Here we go.
Pancake number 2 for that one. You gotta love a good pancake. I know Mike and Jay, they love these volleyball ones for sure. Number 2, Jaquan Kilby. We talked about it, Glenn. What a game for this young man. This is one of a few touchdowns.
Breaking several tackles on his way to the house.
It's like a pinball game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Future's bright and over. I mean, I believe he's only a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. And then number 1, it's Jordan Moran to Jordan Parker and Rasheed Matthews to Tamir Hollingsworth. Both these plays are so good we couldn't choose. Glenn, this was impressive. We saw it live.
Just a freshman.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He had 9 catches in that game.
And then Hollingsworth, we saw it earlier in the day, and oh my Lord, look at that. I don't know how he got his foot down, Benny. Holy smokes.
With all that traffic around him.
Whoa. I mean, that's just good coverage, better catch. Again, your top 10 plays brought to you by BSN Sports. So that'll do it for us here down at Rehobeth. And Benny, before we go, I know you do have an announcement we want to alert some folks to for next week.
Next week, Friday, October 29th, Delaware Live Sports Teams will be up. Delaware Live Sports teams up with Andrew McDonough, Be Positive Foundation, and the Troy Haynes for Troy Foundation for Childhood Cancer Awareness Night. 3 big games on tap. Smyrna and Slade-Zanham. Cape and Appoquinimink has been moved to Thursday night, and then Lake Forest at Woodbridge. Next week we'll have more details about the game and the sponsors, but next Wednesday we'll have the For Troy and the Be Positive people on the show. A couple items that will be up for raffle at the games. At the Woodbridge game will be Brandon Graham autographed football, Brandon Graham from the Eagles, and imagine this at Sally's game, an autographed Troy Reader jersey.
Oh, I love that, man. Good Troy, man. He's done really well for himself,
yeah.
man. He really has. And Glenn, did you have any final thoughts here before we wrap up?
Yeah, just you kind of mentioned it, Pat. Thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the victims that were injured in that parking lot up at Absinio last Friday night. We hope they all recover.
Absolutely. That's from everybody here. So for Glenn Frazier, Benny Mitchell, I've been Patrick Garianis, Nick Halliday behind the box there, making us look pretty up here on stage. Thanks again to Cape Henlopen and Sussex Central. Good luck again on Friday, fellas. Thanks for joining us here on Delaware Live Weekly. See you this weekend.